WomeNomics. We are so excited to have you to join us on today. And today's show is definitely a showstopper. I cannot wait to introduce you to our guest for today. But let me just share who is presenting this segment on today's show. It is Pringle Business Consulting, who serves entrepreneurs, service-based professionals, and small, medium enterprises to help them to turn their reputation into revenue through branding, marketing, public relations, consulting. That is what we do to serve our clients, and we do a great job. And if you would like to schedule a strategy call with us, simply visit pringlebusinessconsulting.com and book your strategy session. Now, let me get to the matter at hand today. This is going to be the next half hour, very engaging, very inspiring, very informative, and you will hear information that will make a difference for women entrepreneurs within their businesses. Joining me today is the one and only Ms. Nik Sallie. You are going to love this amazing, and I do mean an amazing woman. So let me give you a little snippet of who she is, and it is only a snippet of her. Nik is an award-winning intellectual property attorney in Austin, Texas, providing legal services and brand strategy to six-figure women entrepreneurs, including corporate women who are transitioning to full-time entrepreneurship. She has 20 years experience in marketing and over a decade of experience in IP law with a focus on social media and branding. During her 10 plus years at Facebook, she founded the healthcare vertical and advised major companies on their advertising strategy, including, but not limited to, United Healthcare, BetterHelp, and Anthem. In addition, she managed and generated, on average, 8 figures in ad revenue per quarter in her book of business. Nik was named a 22 Woman to Watch by Austin's Woman magazine, and in 2021, Austin Monthly Top Lawyer. In addition to her legal practice and brand consulting, she is also, get this, a master Reiki healer and avid tarot card reader. I want you to help me to welcome this amazing young lady, Miss Nik Sallie. And what we are going to be discussing today is how can you stand out with all the noise online? What can you do starting today to help you to stand out online and bring in more prospects that you can turn into paying clients? So Nik, let's start this conversation, okay?
Excellent.
All right, as I stated, there is so much noise online, and we all know that. The pandemic has brought on everybody online today. So what would you say would be the first thing, and we're addressing women entrepreneurs, okay? What would you say to her? What is the first thing she should do?
First of all, thank you for that beautiful introduction. This is, I'm sure, a question that's been top of mind for a lot of people. As you said, everything that we've gone through the past 2 years, people have had to pivot to online services, whether they were the customer or the actual business owner. The top thing that someone is going to need in order to stand out online is authenticity. It sounds like, something that's a rote piece of advice, but it really does hold true because we always talk about crowded markets and things like that, a lot of people tend to, I think, put a little too much weight on a crowded market. If you think about it, crowded markets are crowded because they work. The beauty industry, t-shirts, all of those are crowded markets, and yet we still see people flourish in those markets. So when it comes to being online, if people are saying online is a crowded market, fine, but don't let that discourage you. I do firmly believe that having authenticity be part of your personal and professional branding is the key thing that's going to help you stand out and also magnetize the right ideal paying customer to your business. So a little bit more about the authenticity piece. What I'm really getting at is vulnerability. And a lot of times that's scary for people who are in business because we tend to have been taught that with business, there's a certain shield you put up. You have a mask on to be professional. You're very stoic. You're very direct. There's no emotions in business, all these kind of things. And nothing could be further from the truth. And I think with the pandemic, what that taught us was that people now wanted to understand and see the humanity within the businesses. Mm-hmm. And it was appropriate for people who were in business to let that vulnerability and that humanity show beyond their corporate entity or beyond their LLC, to show care for people beyond just this idea that our partnership means you give me money and I provide you services or products. People nowadays want to be able to connect to the person behind the business and behind the brand. And that takes authenticity and it takes vulnerability.
Yes, it does. And I love what you said about being stoic and just feeling that you have to show up not being who you really are. That is so important. It's amazing we're having this conversation today because this morning when I was writing in my journal, I wrote these words: stop being afraid of yourself. Yeah. And that's where the authenticity is so important because yes, there's some vulnerability and there's some fear of being who you truly are meant to be. Mm-hmm. But there's no one better than you. Exactly. You are the one who can do whatever it is that you say, you promise, your unique selling proposition, your promise that you're making to your clients. Just know that you have it and believe in yourself, believe in you. All right. So, Nik, something else you had mentioned during a conversation we had about a marketing funnel. I've heard from different people, I've heard you don't need a marketing funnel. And I've heard, yes, you do need a marketing funnel. So I would love for you to address that because there may be some people who are saying, wait a minute, what is a marketing funnel? And why do I need it? And how do I set it up? So do you mind sharing with our audience?
No, it would be my absolute pleasure and honor. I will say I want to circle back to the authenticity and vulnerability piece really quickly before I get into the practical and pragmatic guidance for the marketing funnel. I do want to acknowledge, because when I feel like when people see this, they're going to have a reaction as though, oh, well, I'm so used to dividing myself and my personality. I can't bring all of myself to the table. I don't want to be that vulnerable. I want to acknowledge that fear and say, feel the fear and do it anyway. I just wanted to basically speak to the fact that when I say vulnerability, I am not saying that you open up your diary and you share every single piece about you, every single challenge. No, you want to be strategic. You want to be selective with what you share. But the main point is knowing who your ideal customer is and then tailoring your content to what's helpful to them. So for example, with me, it took me a long time to figure out that I did not want to be a corporate black suit attorney that was going into court all the time. For me, my brand is about authenticity. It's about empowerment and growth and being unapologetically authentic, which is why I show up the way that I do today. I have the gray hair. I have more of the glam. I, love my vintage jewelry with my spirit guide, which is the owl. I make no apologies for who I am and what I stand for. And that is what is wrapped up into my business as an attorney. I'm very much a spiritual person. I let my potential clients know that. And if there's going to be an issue, then that's something we can talk about, but I'm not going to hide any authentic parts of myself. And it took me a long time to be that vulnerable with people and to also get into the tarot cards and things like that, in addition to my trademark practice. This practice of authenticity for me has allowed me to attract customers to me who are other creatives like me. I'm also a musician. I'm a singer. I play instruments, things like that. I write music. I have clients from all over the world who are writers, authors, doulas, graphic design artists, educators. But it's because I showed up like this that they were able to say, that's my person, that's who I want to hire. So if you're afraid to be authentic, please know that it will pay off in the end, and that you'll be able to breathe a big sigh of relief by being your authentic self. You're not, the guidance is not to give everybody everything. It's not to tell all your business, but it is to allow you the runway to not have to hide who you are in your business. So I did just want to come back to that piece on the vulnerability and authenticity. Be who you are. You don't have to tell all your business, but be selective so that you can connect with the right people.
Absolutely. I love what you're saying, because what it leads to is being relevant to your ideal clients.
Exactly.
You will know exactly what to share. And as Nik said, you don't open up your diary and begin to share all your information, some of the information that you see on social media, and you go, why did they share that? Why? And then it impacts their brand. It does. So yes, being relevant, keep that in mind. Being authentic and being relevant is essential in growing your business online and offline. Now, as we move forward with the marketing funnel.
Yes. Here's the thing. Now that we've talked about the personal branding as far as being authentic, and that authenticity and vulnerability and relevance being the key parts, the foundational pieces of a brand, whether it's personal or professional, what that really says is, I know who my ideal customer is. I know what that customer avatar is. An avatar is simply a profile of the customer. You can make up a name, but you want to know their age, yes, their education level, what types of hobbies, jobs, things like that they may have. It's really a profile of who are you speaking to and who's going to want to buy your services or products. Now, once you have that, my main thing is, I do understand that a lot of old school marketing professionals will tell you, when you have something like an offer, you need a landing page that's 2 miles long, that has all of this ad copy and all of this persuasive writing and 10 testimonials and things like that. I do understand that that works for some people. Me personally, the type of people that I have as my ideal clients are people who are, if not C-suite level, they are corporate women or women who are making 6 figures, and they definitely are what we call the boss babes. They're used to making decisions. They're used to being in a leadership position. So by the time they get to me, my expectation is that they're ready to make a decision. So my personal landing pages and my marketing funnels are shorter. Mm-hmm. The way that I go about doing this from a practical standpoint is, you do need a website. I don't think you need a website with a blog and videos and 10 different pages and things like that. But I do think you need a solid landing page with a couple of different sub-pages. Here are the main areas that I think you will need on your website, and then you build your marketing funnel to this website. You're going to need the home page, which will also serve as your about page, which has your bio and everything about you with a, I would say, authority statement. That authority statement basically is similar to the bio that Linda read that gives your background, your leadership skills, your expertise, and basically is telling people why they should listen to you, why they should trust you, and why you've put in the work and being able to get results in the past, and that you can get results for them. The next section, I think, is going to be testimonials, case studies, and past work. And then depending on what kind of business you are, whether you're a product-based business or service-based business, you want a section on your website where people can actually buy. So you want that commerce section of the website. For me, as an attorney, I don't have direct products, I have services on my website. And the way that people sign up for services is they have to sign up for a consultation with me. That legal consultation helps me to give them legal guidance within an hour, and then see if there's anything else like a trademark application or a deep dive session for branding or business planning, something like that that they may need. So it's about three things. They need to be able to learn about you.
Mhm.
They need to be able to see the work that you've done for others and hear those testimonials. And they need to be able to book you and pay.
So Nik, that leads to this question that I have for you.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of times people say, well, on your website, you must have a free offer to obtain their name and email address to build your list. So tell us how you feel about that.
That's a great question. So there's a lot of different schools of thoughts about how important an email list really is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they are useful, but I do not believe that you need to have thousands of people on your email list. I think that you can do a lot of good work
Mm-hmm.
and build your revenue with a list that's only hundreds of people. And that's because I really prefer quality over quantity.
That was going to be my next statement to you. It's about quality, not quantity. We had a conversation last night with a group about that as well. Very interesting point. So say that again, because a gentleman said to me, a couple of weeks ago, that you can have hundreds of thousands of followers, and some people do,
Mm-hmm.
but if they're not becoming clients, what good are they? What good is it other than perhaps, and since you are an attorney, you may be able to address this. If you're trying to build yourself as an influencer on
Mm-hmm.
social media, now that would lend to another side, correct? Am I correct?
If you mean another side, as in another pool or another opportunity
Another opportunity.
to curate
Yes.
a qualified audience, the answer is yes.
Okay. Okay.
So,
I just want our audience to be very clear about the email list, because a lot of service providers, like coaches, consultants, they may feel I must have an email list in order to send out my newsletter or my offers, whatever, so that without having an email list, I won't be successful in obtaining clients. And it isn't, and what you said is the truth. You don't need hundreds of thousands of people on your email list. I know that for a fact.
right. And my law firm is doing quite well, and I have repeat customers who I've filed trademark applications for them at the United States Patent and Trademark Office, and then they've come back and asked me to file one or two more. So it is about quality over quantity. It's about reaching the people who need what it is that you're selling. So
Mm-hmm.
first of all, being clear about who those people are, and then secondly, reaching out to them. The email list is useful. It doesn't have to be huge in order to be effective. So having said that, I do want to revisit the actual marketing funnel in case someone's not familiar with that. I want to just describe what it is and what it looks like. You can Google this and you'll get different versions of it, but I'm going to give you the simplest version. So if we think about an actual funnel, let's say you're trying to put sugar or something into a small jar. You know, you would get a little plastic or metal funnel, and it's wider at the top and then it gets smaller at the bottom. You can just pour everything in and then it doesn't spill anything. Mm-hmm. Well, same concept with the marketing funnel. Whenever you start to advertise, whether you're doing it organically, meaning not paying money for it, or you're doing paid advertising and you have a budget, you're going to want to cast the widest net possible. So that is the top of the funnel. That is the widest portion.
Yes.
Then that top funnel part, that first third, is called awareness. You just want to get as many people as possible to become aware of your brand. Then the middle section of that funnel is consideration. Once they know who you are, when they're in need of certain services, you want them to consider you first. Then at the very bottom section, that bottom third of the funnel, the most narrow part, is conversion. So you will start out at awareness with the most numerous, the biggest number of people. And then what happens through your marketing efforts is you will find that those people who are aware of you, those will be a fraction of those people who actually will be someone who will consider you. And then from those who consider you, a fraction of those people will go on to convert and actually buy from you. So that's what the marketing funnel looks like. Some other illustrations will give you maybe 5 sections. I'm going to give you just those 3 to keep it simple. But this is why it's important that when you build out your website, you keep that simple as well. You don't want someone coming to your website and getting lost in a blog entry, 100 blog posts, and then all the awards that you won over the past 10 years, and then a 2-page bio and 100 products. You really want to get them on the website. You want to give them a few options, which is learn about you, learn what you've done for other people, and buy from you. And the 4th option is get on your email list. And that's it. You don't want to send them on a wild goose chase where you've basically hurt your conversion rates because you've given them too much to consider and too much to think about. People get overwhelmed really easily.
They do.
And you want to make it very easy for them to find you.
That's right.
And then you want to establish the know, like, and trust factor, meaning you have professional branding that's consistent. You're not changing your brand colors all the time. You're not changing your photos every day. You are who you say you are. Your platform is what it is. They come on there, they can see that it's consistent, professional, and then they're fine with buying. They want to take out the credit card. They want to give you the money because they want to be able to access the solution that you're actually offering.
Absolutely. And to just sum that up, less is more.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Less is more because people don't have time anymore like they did in the past. Everyone is super busy. And when there's too much, one will become overwhelmed. And when someone is overwhelmed, there is no way they're going to consider making a purchase or even considering to make a purchase. But I love how you only gave 3 elements of the marketing funnel, and it simplifies it. So again, those 3 areas are at the top where it's so wide, that is to bring brand awareness to who you are, what you do, who you do it for. Just think about that when you are creating your marketing funnel. And that middle is where they can consider your products and services for the solution that they are seeking at this time. And then there we are at the bottom, at the bottom, yes, where you do the conversion. So I think this has been very helpful and informative to help women to make some very good decisions going forward about their brand and about their marketing, because you can't market before you take care of building your brand. And that's where I have found many will start marketing before they have built a solid brand identity. Have you ever noticed that, Nik?
I have. And that's when you see the website is different every month. You see a different logo, you become confused and you're wondering, is this the same business? I don't know who this is. Did they get bought out by someone? It really does help to have a solid plan in place to roll out your branding in a way that builds trust instead of eroding trust with your audience.
You have to build your brand with intention.
Exactly.
Yes, and think about 3 to 5 adjectives that you want your ideal client to think of when they think about you. Think about those adjectives, because those 3 to 5 adjectives must be consistent with every touch point of your brand, your branding, your website, your color, your logo, everything. So, Nik, it has been a pleasure having you here today, but I know you have something to offer to our audience. So please share with them.
Well, I'm really excited to announce my signature course, Brand Magic. It is my online self-paced course, and Brand Magic is about the art and science of magnetic branding, and I help you to create memorable branding in 30 days or less. And so in this self-paced course, you get basically 5 modules over the course of 4 weeks, and the deliverable at the end of that is you will have a professional brand style guide that you will have built out. It will have all your branded colors, fonts, shapes, your personas, all that in it, so that you can then reuse that with any vendor that you're using. Let's say you want business cards made, or you want someone to update your website. You'll now have everything in one place that they can reference, so that it includes all those things, and your branding stays professional and consistent. This is what helps to build a like, know, and trust factor, so that people will know that you are about your business and that you are someone they want to invest in because you have the right solution for them. So a lot of people get overwhelmed by branding. I love teaching this, and there's no one else out there who's an attorney that has also created a brand, a brand course for their audience. So you're getting not only that branding section of it, but I do go over trademark law for you. Not anything to intimidate or scare you or make your eyes gloss over, but I make it really fun and digestible so you can start thinking through your trademark as well. So you've got the legal stuff in there, you've got the branding stuff, and it's all right there for you to self-pace, and you can be done in 30 days or less. Right now, my enrollment, my other courses or classes are doing whatever they need to do. So enrollment is currently closed, but the wait list is open, and you can find that in 2 places. You can either go to my website directly, niksallie.com, niksallie.com, and it will be in the main menu, or you can go directly to the sales page, which is niksallie.com/brand-magic. And you'll be able to get on the wait list, on my email list there as well, so that I can send you announcements and you can be the first to enroll when we do open the doors.
Wonderful. I would like for you to repeat that wait list link again for them.
Absolutely. You can go to niksallie.com, or you can go to niksallie.com/brand-magic.
All right. It has been a pleasure having you here with us on today.
Thank you.
You have given women plenty of information and even resources to even take and be a part of your brand magic. So ladies, it's time to build that brand where you do stand out, where that your reputation precedes you. It's just like Jeff Bezos said, it's what people say about you when you're not in the room, is what is your brand. Think about that. You want to know how you want your brand to be known as, what you stand for, and then you want those branding collateral elements to represent who you are. I am Linda Pringle Evans. It has been my pleasure being here with you today and having the phenomenal Miss Nik Sallie here. Until next week, have a magnificent day to your success.